Yeah, welcome fam, it's survive. Break it down, tough as horse, hard and hustle. Wear the crown, subscribe to the journey. Don't sleep on the grind. Hit the like button. Come on, don't be blind. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes. Together we rose, reaching higher and higher. From hoops to the griddle, we cover it all. Champions rise and together we never fall. Join the fam, we celebrate every win. What she said, let's meet where the passion begins. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes. Together we rose, reaching higher and higher. Welcome aboard, let's make it loud. What she say, rip her out of the crowd.
All right, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday night. I got a great show planned for you. So we'll give everybody a second to join. Hey, Miss Mel. Yes, you are. You are on time. Welcome. Welcome back. I put together a great show. I took the poll of our members to find out which Colorado player, after I profiled DJ McKinney, that they wanted us to profile next. So that's who we're talking about tonight. And of course, other topics always pop up. I like to start off with a good vibe. Tonight is some good news, right? So we know that Colorado has filed a waiver along with Syracuse together. They filed a waiver to change the rules so that Colorado and Syracuse could play a competitive spring game April 19th instead of an inter-squad game, right? So I think everybody's on the same page there. So I checked a few days ago just to kind of see how long it would be. And I checked back again today, and they said we should know by the end of this week, which is great because today is Wednesday and 5 o'clock end of business Eastern Standard Time is the 28th, this Friday. So hopefully we hear by this Friday if it's a go. And if it is, it'll be historic because it's the first time two teams have played together competitively for a spring game. And I'm sure it'll open the gate for other teams to get together and play. I like it. You start the season off with a competitive spring game. You end the season with either a bowl game, a bowl appearance, college football playoffs, or the Natty, right? The championship game. So I like it. So hopefully it's innovative and it changes college football. It makes it more exciting. And I've already said that Colorado's spring game is going to be stacked anyway. Why? Because we have a QB showdown on who's going to be QB1. Therefore, it's going to be exciting anyway. But we get to see all of the quarterbacks. I'm sure, we see Ryan Staub, we see we see Juju, and we see Kaidon Salter competing for the number one spot. So I'm sure we'll see them play in the spring game. Hopefully it's a competitive spring game. Another reason that we want the game to be competitive is why? Because we play Georgia Tech first game on the season. We need to see some real life scenarios, some real action. We don't need an inter-squad game. We need to actually play a game. so we can see these guys and figure out who's going to be the best option for Coach Prime to choose for QB1, right? So we've heard all the talk about Byron Leftwich coming in, and I hear a lot of talk about him developing Juju. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that Kaidon is a fifth-year senior, already played a perfect season, and he's on the way to the NFL. I maintain that Kaidon could possibly bring the Heisman back to Colorado, right? And then Ryan Staub is still there. Some people have speculated that maybe after the spring game, he might hop in the portal. I think he's 10 toes in, and he wants to compete for that starting spot. And that's admirable. So we'll see. But the point is, we'll know hopefully by the end of this week. It was reported we should know by the end of this week. All right, let's see who's in the chat. Let's see who's in here. Who is this? Oh, Aladdin. Welcome back. Welcome back. Miss Mel's, welcome back. All right. So before we get into our CU Buff profile, we're going to talk about yesterday, last night on Threads. There was a conversation that carried over on Threads from our live stream. And it was as it pertains to Jaden Daniels and Juju Watkins. So I posted on like shorts today that Jaden Daniels was at Juju's next game. So, you know, there was the whole them looking at each other, talking, their viral moment, right? So their viral moment went to another game. So after the game with the viral moment, he still went back to Spokane, or was still up there. And he went to her game against Mississippi State. Unfortunately, that's the game where she got injured. He was courtside at the time, sitting right there in the USC section where family probably typically sits. So she likely left him some tickets. When we saw them on a viral moment, he was sitting in the USC section and he saved her a seat. So on this particular game, the footage that I shared is the game hasn't started yet, but he's taking his seat kind of in the same area. And she likely left tickets for him and he came to the game. Now, this is the third game that he's attended to support Juju and USC. And now that she's injured, I don't know if we'll continue to see him or not. If we don't, that tells you everything you need to know. I feel like you should already know what it is. You know, people have maintained that they're cousins. That has not been confirmed, and that is likely not the case. I'm happy for them because y'all know I was cheering for them to go out on a date, and it appears they already have some type of budding friendship here. You know, maybe they're trying to get to know each other or already kind of know each other, and he's showing up publicly after those two have been talking privately. He was at her UCLA game. He was at the game where everything went viral. And then, you know, the Mississippi State game. Now, Juju was photographed. It appears to be a recent photo. And she looked cute at a Lakers game. She's out for the season, but, you know, I don't know when she's having surgery or whatnot. But she looked so cute. It looked like she was with her mom. We just want to wish Juju a speedy recovery. And we stand a supportive friend. And Jaden Daniels, who was undeterred after the viral moment shown on camera, he still went back to support Juju and USC. So shout out to Jaden Daniels. All right. So let's get into our CU Buff profile. All right. So I put together a video and we're going to talk about this young man. You've heard me talk about him before because he's a dog, DAWG. I said he can bring the Heisman back to Colorado. And it's none other than Kaidon Salter. All right. So Kaidon, in my opinion, is that guy. Let me just tell you a little bit about him. He went to Liberty for the first 4 years of his college career. So he's a fifth-year senior at CU, right? He's not new to this. He's true to this. In 2023, Kaidon Salter had a perfect season going 13-0. Let me talk about his football skills because this is why I like him. Yes, he's poised in the pocket. That's something that is familiar to us. He had over 6,000 yards in his entire career. But what was impressive was the fact that the entire 4 years at Liberty, his record was 21-4. for 4 years, 21-4. That's impressive, right? And that's even having two coaches. There were two coaching changes at Liberty. He still went 21-4. Now I was like, okay, let me see, what kind of team they had. So I watched Kaidon Salter against Bo Nix, Oregon. It was Bo Nix last year. Now, Kaidon did well in the game in the beginning, but the defense just couldn't keep up with Oregon. And it seems like in Kaidon last year, Liberty was trying to transition from what they did in a perfect season with a pass-heavy offense to incorporate more of a run-heavy offense. And I do believe that that is one of the reasons that Kaidon decided to hop in the portal. Now, understand, Kaidon had an offer from who? Syracuse and others. He said as soon as he hit the portal, his phone just was jumping off the hook. But Kaidon is also legacy, in my opinion, from Truth Academy or from when Coach Prime had his youth league. He played for them. I think him and his brother. His brother also goes to CU. I don't know his first name, but I figured it out because I kept seeing another Salter. And I was like, is that his brother? And somebody said, yeah, and I looked it up. I said, oh, okay. So he and his brother are both at CU. I don't know how far apart they are, but I do know Kaidon played for Coach Prime. And in an interview, his mom talked about how Kaidon is a lot like Coach Prime, very confident. So what do I like about Kaidon? Poised in the pocket, patient in the pocket, which means he can extend the play. He also can extend the play with his legs. He's not afraid to run it in himself. He wore number 7. He had on 7 for a little bit at CU, but he wore 7. And I honestly asked the question, and Kaidon, if you ever see this, what made him choose number 7? Is it because of Michael Vick? Kaidon, a dual threat quarterback. Michael Vick, one of the best to ever do it, the GOAT, the legend of dual threat quarterbacks that actually innovated the quarterback skill set with dual threat play. Kaidon has undoubtedly deep ball accuracy. He had over 2,000 rushing yards and over 20 rushing touchdowns. That's in addition to 56 passing touchdowns. This young man is a dog. Already had a perfect season in 23, right? So what does that mean for us at CU? Leadership. What did Coach Prime say he was looking for? Leadership, right? Coach Prime talked the other day about players being sensitive. I can yell at you, but I can't yell at you. See, that's a problem. That means you too new to this. Because if you've been around Coach Prime for a whole semester or half a semester, even if you came in the fall, rather than, last spring, that's going to happen. And if you've been playing football all your life, you can't be sensitive about a coach yelling at you. Now, if they being abusive, that's a different story. But I've never seen Coach Prime be abusive. In fact, he seems to be very considerate because they reduced the number of reps when it comes to practices. And everybody last year talked about how intense Colorado's practices were. So he heard and listened. So clearly, Coach Prime is considerate. I don't know that anybody's abusive in terms of a coach. They have a lot of new coaches, so I guess we're going to have to see. But if Coach Prime is already having the conversation that some of you feel like I can yell at him, but not you, and you being sensitive, you're going to have to become thick-skinned. Because how you going to get to the NFL? And that is the goal. For most of the men sitting in the room, not everybody, most of them, that is the goal. Right? Hey, 400 meter, welcome. So Kaidon is the guy that I say, in my opinion, that's likely going to be QB1. In terms of skill set, he and Juju are very, very comparable, right? We talked about that. I Googled once upon a time, what college quarterback is Kaidon Salter comparable to? It said Juju Lewis. So I was like, was recruiting online, asking AI for information, because how does that come out? And I told y'all how about they both went to a camp, and Kaidon is older than Juju, obviously. Kaidon is a 50th senior. Juju should still be in high school. Kaidon was the camp counselor. Juju attended the camp, right? Juju attended the camp. So now they both are at CU competing. And that's just me. This young man has gone 13-0, a perfect season before he left there. Then they decided to switch the system. He already had 2 coaches, so he knows how to adapt. Adaptability is a part of leadership. If something pops up, he's not going to be shaken by it. His mom talked about how confident he is. He's definitely not going to be sensitive. He came in day one trying to get himself familiar with the wide receivers that were already on the ground. That's leadership. And I'm not saying Juju doesn't have it. I'm saying I think Juju's time will come. I think Juju's skill set might be there. But in terms of personal growth and development, we saw Kaidon already begin to acclimate to the environment, to the wide receivers on the ground. Coach Prime said he's looking for leadership. Kaidon is clearly a leader. He's done it already. Kaidon sits next to, in every meeting that I've seen, and I don't watch every day, but the ones that I have seen, Kaidon sits next to who? The offensive coordinator. Juju sits, I think, kind of where Shadua sat, and that's cool. And that's cool. I think Kaidon has a lot of Shadua qualities. Patient, unflappable, extending plays, using your legs, quick decision-making, deep ball accuracy, not afraid to convert at third down, not afraid to run it in at third down. I think one of his favorite plays, which was in this video, to be honest with you, I think one of his favorite plays is a quarterback run fake. I think it's something that he likes to do. He seems to be good at it, and you never know when he's going to do it. And he's actually doing it right here. I watched him play against FIU. It was an overtime game, right? Just like our Baylor game. So the intense moments, the nail-biting moments when you're on the edge of your seat, he can keep a cool head. We need somebody, in my opinion, who's experienced at the college level, already had a perfect season, already had the Baylor type overtime, and came out victorious and won. Who already acclimated to the players that were already on the ground, even though all students had made it yet. So yeah, maybe I'm making my case for him to start, but I don't think I have to. I think if this game is a competitive CU game, oh, this young man gonna thrive. You can look at Kaidon and tell that he's the kind of person that welcomes the challenge of starting fresh at a new school or with a new coach in a new environment, and he cool with it. I just want to get out here and play. Kind of like we say Travis is, love the game. Probably just plays the game at random. When they were on what I think it was a weekend, even before spring practice, before conditioning started, they were in there, all working out together. Kaidon throwing reps to the receivers on the ground. Give him some capable receivers, a good defense, and combine his skill set with a capable run game, and we might have a perfect season. Like, it is very motivating and inspiring and exciting to know that we have a player that has already had a perfect season. And what I found completely interesting about him, they talk about his deep ball accuracy, right? I think his longest ball was 75 yards. When you watch him play, I think it was against FIU maybe, or Oregon when they played in the Fiesta Bowl. I think that's what it was. He can launch some bombs. He does it in practice all of the time, and honestly, it looks effortless. He has good size on him, good height. You know, I like his football IQ because when he has to make a decision, what I call, you know, if the play is drawn up this way and if it don't work out, I got to call an audible. He seems to be really good at it, and he's not afraid to take off and run. And he's fast. You know, I was watching him. I'm like, you know, he's really good at this quarterback fake thing. I think he enjoys this. He's also good in traffic, rolling out to the left, rolling out to the right. He's good right there in the pocket. He's patient to stop and look for somebody open, not frazzled like, let me just hurry up and get it, which makes mistakes. So I said, okay, let me see. What kind of O-line did they have? how many times did he get sacked? What was the most, right? So it said that the most he had been sacked in one season, ironically, was 19 times. And this was his last season at Liberty. Now, in 20, was it 20? What year was that? 2023? When they had the perfect season, he had only been sacked 9 times. So year one, he wasn't sacked at all because I think he didn't play that much. But when he did get in the game, they won against UMass. Year 2, sacked 16 times. Year 3, sacked 9 times. Year 4, sacked 19 times, and he got out of there. And his longest ball was 70 yards. When they had a perfect season, he threw for over 2,800 yards, had 32 touchdowns. He only had 6 interceptions. I'm telling y'all, when you start looking at other quarterbacks' numbers and you see Shedeur was sacked 52 times in year 1 and only had 4 interceptions, that's why he's such a high draft pick. Never got injured, people coming at his knees, getting sacked 42 times in year 1, 30 some odd times in year 2. When you start looking at other quarterbacks' numbers and you see why Shedeur Sanders should have been a top 5 Heisman. I see a lot of Shedeur Sanders and Kaidon Salter. I think he's ready to take the helm. He wants to make his own mark. I don't think he's trying to walk in Shedeur's shoes. Like his mom said, he's just like Coach Prime. He's confident. He played football for Coach Prime's youth league. So he already knows who Coach Prime is. He already knows what to expect. Honestly, I think off the strength of his first 4 years at Liberty, he's going to get drafted. But if he takes CU to a perfect season or a near perfect season, or if he's QB1 and we beat Georgia Tech, understand, this young man, I'm telling y'all, this young man could get that Heisman back to CU. Hey, Kiel, how you doing? Welcome. Jerry, glad to see Jaden supporting Juju despite his mother. Right. Yep, he wasn't deterred by that. Either way, QB position is in great hands. The future is bright for CU. That's facts. And that's the beauty of what's going on at CU. With either quarterback, we're capable. In my opinion, when it comes to skill set. We talked about Jaden Daniels when I think most of y'all may have been around when I was going live when Washington was playing Philadelphia, right? For the championship game. And I said, I want Jaden to win it, but I can't go against the fact that Philadelphia had the number 1 defense, but my emotions was leading me to vote for Jaden. That's how I feel a lot of people are with Juju and Kaidon. Kaidon being Jalen Hurts and Juju being Jaden Daniels. The young person, the newest one on the staff. We know he got the skill set. And we want to, with our emotions, oh, he has the skill set. Okay. But what did I say? Situational experience. When you get to a certain level, things change. And it's different. And they talk about how the Super Bowl, some teams actually lose just because that was their first time there. Look at what happened with Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts. Already been to the Super Bowl, but didn't quite make it. Came back this time. They knew exactly what to do. They didn't even have nerves, and they knocked it out the park. When we talked about Washington, the Commanders, when they played Philly, what did we say? I know we said this a little nervousness they got to get out of their system. I said I thought Jaden did a good job. Talking about Jaden Daniels. I felt like they needed a running back, which is why I say, Kaidon, we need a run game. So, capable O-line, run game, a good defense, we could get that perfect season. He's already done it before. That's what I like about it. That's what makes it so special to me. The fact that, okay, he's already proven. It's not like we have to ask the question, can we get to a perfect season? We didn't even ask for a perfect season. I think we said we were going to lose 2 games. I said we're going to win Georgia Tech. I said, in my opinion, that barring some off the field madness, which I don't see happening, I say Kaidon is QB1 against Georgia Tech. That's just me. We talked about, is CU going to have a 2 quarterback system? meaning when we're in the red zone, we have one QB. And then we have a different QB. I don't know, when we just trying to get to the first down or something like that. My point is, I think Kiel said that was not a good idea because you don't have time to establish a rhythm. The consistency doesn't have time to build up. So it's better to just go with the one QB system. Do y'all think it's a possibility if we got 3 quarterbacks? Do y'all think it's a possibility if we get that competitive spring game and Juju balls out, Kaidon balls out? Let's just take those 2 for a second. That we see a 2 QB system for the first game against Georgia Tech. And then Coach Prime keeps going with the 2 QB system until it warrants, let me choose this quarterback. That's my question for you guys. Let me know your thoughts. So yeah, thank y'all so much. Please let there be 15 likes. Y'all already do a great job. I want to say shout out and welcome to my new subs. Y'all really coming on like gangbusters. I appreciate it. Now, I said I was trying to get to 5,000 by June 30th. I'm still going for it. I'm not going to be undeterred if I'm not at 3 by the time I get to the end of this month. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do my part. So y'all do your part. If you over there in the chat or you can hear my voice, hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel if you are new. So yeah, it's true. Either way, we are good at QB1 with the skill set. I say situational experience matters. That's why I was telling the story about the Commanders versus the Eagles this past year and how I led with my emotions, even though I knew better. I knew better. I knew that having the number 1 defense for Philadelphia meant a lot. Everybody thought the game was going to hang on Saquon Barkley, but I mean, it kind of did. The Super Bowl didn't, but the game against Washington did. And even when Saquon scored like in 18 seconds after getting possession of the ball, that changed the tone. And you have to be a quarterback where you can keep your people in the game. And we saw, now this has nothing to do with Jaden, we saw the defense begin to unravel for Washington, right? And I saw some questionable coaching on when Washington had amazing possession of the ball, like in the first quarter. And it's like they got tired of having possession of the ball and they just gave it over to Philadelphia. That's bad coaching. And what happened? Philadelphia first possession, 18 seconds, Saquon Barkley scores. That shifted the momentum of the game. So yeah, coaching matters. Kaidon's already had 2 coaches in college. He knew after that last coaching change, after having a perfect season in 2023, going 21-4 in 4 whole years, he knew it was time to get out of there. He was sacked 19 times. He had never been sacked like that before, and that was with a run-heavy offense. So I'm like him. I don't know what y'all got going on, but I'm out of here. He was sought after, and CU, maybe because of his relationship with Coach Prime. So now what does he do? He's on a different level. This is the next level up, in my opinion. CU, I believe, is the next level up from where he was. The lights we know are brighter. I don't think he's deterred by the lights, by the people in the stadium, or anything. He went to a bowl game every year. He was at Liberty. So crowds, he's good. Jitters, I don't see it. I don't see it. Can run or pass. 56 passing touchdowns, to over 20 rushing, which means that run fake, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. You just don't know when you're going to see it. And it seems like to me, Pat Schumer, a lot of people are expecting more trick plays or more innovative plays. And then we now have Byron Leftwich, which people say that, Shermer and Leftwich will work together on the QB plays. Excellent. Excellent. I think, if Kaidon is still sitting next to Shermer, even though we now have Leftwich, I think it says a lot. Respect. I'm a sponge. I'm listening. I'm getting ready to soak up this knowledge. So, hey Damon, how you doing? How you doing? Hello, family. Glad to be here tonight. Oh, thank you, Crowley. Thank you. Moana, welcome back. All right, so let me know your thoughts. We talked about this briefly. Here's the scenario I'm proposing, and I want y'all to drop a yes or no or whatever your thoughts are if you want to expand on it in the chat. If CU plays a competitive game against Syracuse, which we'll find out supposedly by the end of this week, I hope it's a yes. And Juju balls out. Kaidon balls out. Do you see where Coach Prime will continue for the rest of the spring with a 2 QB system into fall practices starting the season against Georgia Tech with a 2 QB system to try and just keep moving forward with that system if it's working until it warrants a 1 QB system? Let me know your thoughts. That's what I want to know. So most of you heard me say Kaidon was at Liberty for 4 years. His overall record was hella impressive at 21-4, which is why I think he can bring the Heisman back to CU. They had a perfect season, 13-0, just 2 years ago. They've been to a bowl game all 4 years while he was there. He threw for 5,800 passing yards, 56 passing touchdowns. He has 17 interceptions. So now understand this. That's his career. Understand that's his career. You heard me say that I think one of his favorite plays is the QB run fake. So his rushing stats, over 2,000 rushing yards and 21 rushing touchdowns. 56 plus 21. That's how many touchdowns he had. He has 77 touchdowns his entire career. So you heard me talk about his coaching changes. For the first 2 years, he had one coach, and for the last 2 years, he had another coach. Again, I have no idea why after having a perfect season that Liberty would change to a run-heavy offense. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I can see if the new coach came in at the last year. He came in at the perfect season and then went away from it. So that's why he got up out of there. I actually watched the interview. The way that they changed things is why he got out of there. So he's in 22, he wasn't even a starter. He played in 8 games. He started 4. So he knows how to, not start if that's what's going to happen. But honestly, I do believe that he is going to be QB1. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think he's QB1. And if he shows what I'm talking about, poise in the pocket, patient in the pocket, can extend the plays, can also use his legs. If you need to call an audible, find how well he takes direction from Leftwich as well as Pat Shermer. He already bonded with the receivers. He already bonded with Pat Shermer. If I sit next to you every day and I say hi to you, hell, we bonded in some respects. And I'm sure more than that is happening. So he's basically settled in already. So a lot of people talking about the whole QB competition because it makes good clickbait. It does. It makes good conversation to constantly speculate about it and this and the other. You're probably not going to see me do that because I'm telling you, this your QB1 right here. Barring some unforeseen, the unexpected anything, this your QB1 right here. Leadership, situational experience, perfect season already. College experience, skill set. Did I say 21-4 in 4 years at the college level? Went to a bowl game 4 years in a row. Had 2 different coaches. Adaptability seems to be one of his strong suits. Not deterred by anybody. So that's what I think. So, that's Kaidon. He's that guy. I've been saying it. I did this one because why I asked what she said, friends and family, who they wanted me to profile after I profiled DJ McKinney, and it was Kaidon Salter. So I took the time to do some what I call extensive research. I watched his film, watched Oregon, watched Jacksonville State, watched FIU. FIU is a good game because that was like our Baylor game. Tied it up at the last minute, went into OT and won it. Situational experience. I see a lot of similarity from Shedeur, but Kaidon is not hanging his hat on Shedeur's shoe size. He's like, it's time for me to make my mark. That's what you want. Somebody that wants to come in and put their mark on it. Not somebody that just wants to reach back for the baton. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just saying he's that guy that wants to make his mark, put his spin on it, and get it done. And because he already had a perfect season and multiple coaches, he knows what to do. And he clearly knows his worth because he could have stayed at Liberty for the 4th year. He could have stayed at Liberty. He could have probably went in the draft for the 3rd round, to be honest with you. I'm telling you, you can look at his film from Liberty and go, okay, but then he knows he can do better than that. So that's why he's at CU. He could have went to Syracuse. But he's at CU because he knows what CU can offer. Exposure, competitive play that can really flex his skill set, his leadership abilities. It's not just about his skill set. This is taking it to the next level and him leading a team that he just walking into in year 1, in his last year of college. But I'm going to go ahead and get to know this team, adapt to the coaches. It's new coaches, new players, and everything. And he walking around like, I'm comfortable. That's what you want. That's definitely what I want against Georgia Tech. I want to see Kaidon start against Georgia Tech because I think it's going to be a show. What we need, other than Kaidon for Georgia Tech, is a defense. We need a defense. I don't know what the defense is going to look like this year. I know Warren Sapp is still there, so I have high expectations. I know we still have Keaton Wade. He's a dog. We still got DJ McKinney. We still got Preston Hodge, Carter Stoudemire. I don't really know the linemen. I think we might still have Barnes. But, I mean, honestly, we took a hit with these guys going to the league. Not that they shouldn't have. But let's talk about B.J. Green. Nakai Hill-Green going to Alabama. He probably going to do well. We know they get combine invites because it's Alabama. That's why he went to Alabama, if you ask me. So we need a defense. Kaidon can only do so much. And when I watched them play Oregon, when Bo Nix last year, Kaidon started off doing what Kaidon does, but if he can't get on the field because the defense can't get off, it ain't on him. That's not on him. That's why we need a defense. We need a run game too. So I believe we have an O-line. I really do. Led by Jordan Seaton. I think had the coach last year actually rotated, maybe had Yaya play more. There was some other players too. I think we would have been better on the O-line, on the right side. I don't have a problem with Cash Cleveland. I don't have a problem with Jordan Seaton. I didn't have a problem with Tyler Brown. But that right side was problematic. And I felt like the lack of adjustments is what was crippling the team and holding it back. So I don't expect that to happen this year. We have a new O-line coach who came from Jackson State, Gunnar White with Coach Prime. I feel like it's 2 O-line coaches, like a head coach and then another coach. So we need a defense. We need to see that O-line in this spring game. That's what I'm looking for. Y'all believe in Juju's skill set? That's cool. I believe in Kaidon's skill set and Juju's skill set. I want to see how Ryan Staub does in the spring game. We should know this weekend if it's going to be Syracuse. They already filed the waiver. But honestly, I'm looking for everything, the integral pieces. I'm looking at this O-line. I want to see the defense. I want to see the secondary. I want to see who's going to replace the speed that we had in the secondary. I need to see the run game. I need to see that. We need that too. But we definitely need a defense. Because regardless of who the QB1 is, If we don't have a defense, they're not going to be able to get off the field. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. And I surely don't want Syracuse coming in here and embarrassing us. So, hopefully we can get it together. But this has been my presentation on Kaidon Salter. Y'all go show him some love. K-Salt, I think 07, I think, is his IG. He is that guy. Kaidon, whether you show him love or not, he's still going to be Kaidon. That's what I like about him. But go ahead and show him some love. Follow him. If you see his content, give him thumbs up. Encourage him, not that he needed, because he's confident. He's just as confident as Shedeur. He don't even need the encouragement. He's like Coach Prime. When you hear Coach Prime say, I don't need you to tell me about me because I already know who I am. Kind of like the same. So his mom was spot on when she said, he's a lot like Coach Prime. He's confident. So I hope y'all enjoyed this presentation. It was good. I enjoyed, learning more about Kaidon. I knew he was a dog. I knew he had a perfect season. I did not know he had a 21-4 record in his career. I did not know that. And I do not understand why they, after having that perfect season, when that new coach came in his second to last year there, his junior year, I have no idea why they went away from the pass to a run-heavy offense. I don't know if we're going to be a run-heavy offense. I think we're still going to be primarily passing. I think it's going to be more balanced. That's what I do believe. I think it'll be more balanced. Okay, it says, okay, so y'all responded to my question. Okay, let's see. The question was, I'm going to say it one more time. During the spring game, if it's competitive against Syracuse, and we see Juju, that's why. Juju Lewis, not Watkins, Juju Lewis ball out. And we see Kaidon Salter ball out, not ignoring Ryan Staub. I'm just talking about those two for a minute. If we see both of them ball out, does Coach Prime go into the first game versus Georgia Tech with a 2 QB system? And if we win, continue on with a 2 QB system until it warrants 1 QB. 2 QB system, a red zone QB, and a third down QB. All right, so let me see what y'all's answers are. Let's see. Glad to see Jaden supported. Yes, okay. Thank you, Jerry. It says K-Salt will be a star at CU. Oh, I agree, Jerry. I agree. I'm telling you, I think we can get that Heisman. I wanted to look up to see if they had done the Big 12 incoming QB assessment yet. It might still be a little early. I know some of the big box channels do theirs around May, but it's for the entire college football. So like last year in 2024, if you look up college football QB rankings for 2024 going into the season, it came out around May, and they had Shedeur and Cam at 8 and like 10 or 8 and 9. They were way down there. They had like Carson Beck, Dylan Gabriel, Jackson Dart, and others like 1, 2, and 3. And look how that turned out. So I'm not buying too much stock in what they put out in terms of QB rankings for college football 2025 going into the season, but I am looking to see what they come up with. And then I want to see the breakdown by conference, and I want to see where they have Kaidon in the Big 12, because y'all know Shedeur won the award for the Big 12, and Travis, CU took the awards last year. So I'm hoping we can do that again. I don't know if we have a two-way player this year, though. I'm not sure. But we'll get to that. That's what the spring game will kind of show. Are we going to have another two-way player? We talked about Isaiah Harge. Somebody said he's focusing on wide receiver right now. I don't know if I saw any other gray jerseys out there, but that's what the spring game is for, to answer all of these open questions. And what we'll do before the spring game, because we know it's April 19th, is we'll go live and we'll come up with a list of questions, of things that we, as a panel, like what we want to know. What are we looking for in the spring game? And then after the game, we'll see how many of our questions got answered and, do an assessment and see, if we can predict what our first game will look like against Georgia Tech. at Folsom Field. So Jerry said that Kay Salter will be a star at CU. I agree. Kiel said no, nada, nope. The situation will become a nightmare. Just have competition and find out who's the best quarterback and start the person. So again, Kiel doesn't care for the 2 QB system. It'll be too much chaos. So, he's voting against that. Damon said, you have really excellent points and facts. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It says, Crowley says, I don't think Coach Prime will do a 2 QB system. Someone will earn that spot. Okay. I'm liking it. Okay. Thank you for that, Crowley. Jackie said, if it works, he will. Coach Prime wants to win. He will do whatever it takes to win because he has a winner period. Okay. All right. And you should ask Kaidon why he chose number 7. I think he was trying to be a level above 2. And I love it. Okay. I like that. You said why he chose 3. Oh, okay. I thought you said 7. Okay. I like that. I think I will ask that question. I'll probably DM him and ask. Not that he's going to answer it, but I'm still going. That's not going to stop me from asking. I'm not deterred either. And Jerry said there will be competition. And in my opinion, K-Salt would emerge. Yep, I agree as well. All right. So that was good. Y'all answered the question. The majority of you think we should not do a 2 QB system. Well, actually, half of you think we shouldn't do a 2 QB system. The other half thinks if Coach Prime want to win, that's probably what's going to happen. And Jerry, you kind of seem like you split down the middle. There'll be some competition and there'll be a winner and Kaidon will likely be that guy. Okay. I like it. Okay. I like it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I like that. So let's see. I actually posted on YouTube because like I said, it's a lot of action happening on Threads. I actually posted on YouTube if you go to the community tab for posts, there's a post with Kaidon. I posted it there. And I think it's in the member section. So if you're a member, you should be able to see it. That was my way of kind of giving y'all a heads up that that's what we're getting ready to talk about tonight. So understand that. But, I think I might ask him. So you think he chose 3 because he might want to be one up above Shedeur. He might, because he said, Shedeur did well, but it's my time. He was very confident about that. So, what does it say? Jerry said 3 years of college experience at QB1 should be given a lot of consideration. Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's what I meant. He's already proven. He just came to see you. It's not like, okay, last year or year 1. Let's take year 1. We had players hop in the transfer portal, in my opinion, that needed the development. They came to see you because it's not that they just didn't start. They needed to be better, right? I think Kaidon is already that guy, and CU is just a platform, and he just makes us better. You know what I mean? I don't think he's lacking anything. I do believe he could have got drafted off the strength of, a perfect season. How many people have a perfect season? And then knew his worth to get out of there. So I know he get drafted next year. I just can't tell you where. But if we beat Georgia Tech and he's QB1 and we actually have a near perfect season or a perfect season, yeah. I think he got to be in that Heisman conversation. The question is, since Shedeur's gone, will they try to snub him? Like when they talked about the Heisman conversation last year, people forget they tried to snub Travis. Of course, they snubbed Shedeur. They were successful at that, but he got up on that stage with Travis. I loved it. So they tried to keep him off the stage, but he still was on there. The question is, now that Shiloh and Shedeur are gone, do y'all believe that they will try, even if Kaidon earns it? Let's say we have a perfect season. Do you think they will try to snub him? Because it's Coach Prime. It's not Coach Prime kids anymore. Because it's Coach Prime. What do y'all honestly think about that? Do you think they'll be like, nah, his kid's gone, so we're not worried about it? Or will it be, nope, it's still Colorado. We can't let Colorado get here. And we know they had a perfect season, but we're gonna act like we don't see him. And we'll put him at number 7 or number 6 or number 5, but he's not gonna make the stage at 1, 2, 3, or 4. What do y'all think about that, honestly? Are they going to stop the foolishness now that the Sanders kids or sons are gone, or are they just going to keep it going? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. All right, so I guess we're going to get ready to wrap up, guys. That was my presentation. We are about just at an hour. All right, so since we have everybody here together, and thank you, hit the like button. If you have any thoughts on who you want to see profile next, drop the name in the chat. It's got to be a Colorado Buff football player that's on the squad this year. Let's see. Keep going, love. I love your channel. Oh, thank you so much, Moana. I appreciate you so much for that. That means a lot. Y'all have no idea. So the question was, is there anybody y'all want to see profile next? We did DJ McKinney. We already did Kaidon Salter, which I think this one was good. And who do y'all want to see next? Who do we want to profile next? I have an idea, but I want to see what y'all gonna say. Drop the name in the chat. Y'all see right here, Kaidon's you saw that? The run fake? I'm telling y'all, this one of his this gotta be one of his favorite plays. If I ever get an interview with him, I'm gonna ask him, which QB play is your best play? And see what he says. I think Gracie just sent us an email, but I didn't get to see it. Okay, we might look at it for tomorrow. Gracie, if you somewhere out there, we'll take a look at your email afterwards. I appreciate you sending it. If y'all have a topic or idea, y'all can just email me at whatshesaidsports@gmail.com. Is that what it is? It might actually be just look in the bio. I don't know what the email address is. Let's see. Let me look. Look in the bio. You can just email me like, oh, like if some breaking news happened and you think maybe I didn't hear about it, let me know. I don't check DMs on Instagram, so it's not really a good idea to DM me. But the email address is in the bio for the page. Let's see. I'm going to share it right here. Okay, that's not it. Hold on one second. All right. So if you see anything interesting pertaining to football or basketball, you know, the topics we cover, Colorado football, college football, the NFL draft, feel free to email me at, it's what she said 404, the area code to Atlanta. So the email address is what she said 404@gmail.com. Feel free to email me any good information. Like Gracie just sent an email. It said the worst news for NCAA women's came last night during the second round of March Madness when USC superstar and top candidate for National Player of the Year, Juju Watkins, got hurt. Okay, so see, Gracie sent that to me in the email. I just got it. I don't know what she sent it, but it usually doesn't take me long to see it, and I will respond to it and say, hey, I received it. I'll look at it. Thank you so much. And most times we actually can get it into the podcast. Miss Mel said the hate for Coach Prime runs deep. They don't want him winning. They're going to still be with the hate. I agree, Miss Mel. I agree. Thank you for that. Jordan Seaton. Okay. All right. Jordan Seaton. All right. I like it. I like it. Jordan Seaton. Okay, I can keep that in chat. Okay. I like it, Miss Mel. Jordan Seaton. Johnny King said 14 people watching and 14 thumbs up. Good job, chat. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. All right, so we already got a line on the next profile, Jordan Seaton. Miss Mels, you might want to become a member. Hit that join button and pick your level. Seem like you like hanging out with us. It helps to support the channel, and we're going to take it to the next level. All right, y'all. So I will reach out to Kaidon Salter and see why he chose number 3. And see if I get a response. I will share it with the family. If you think of anything that pops up, football, basketball related on topics, you know, we covered, you can email me at whatshesaid404, which is the area code to Atlanta, @gmail.com. All right. So thank y'all so much, Jared. Appreciate it. Johnny King, appreciate it. It said no, but what does it say? No, but maybe some situational plays with 2 QBs. Okay, I like that. I like that, Jerry. So you're saying have a one QB system, but when it comes to not trick plays, you calling them situational plays. We mix it up a little bit. I like that. I always felt like we didn't have enough trick plays last year. I felt like we were too basic, and people for year one, people could actually guess what was going on. I don't think they had to guess. I think they were given the information. Year two, it got better. However, it wasn't innovative enough, you know. So this year, hopefully, like Jerry's saying, we get some situational plays with two QBs. I could see that being the case because I'm telling y'all, we can't let Juju just sit, not the whole season. They gonna be on him. They already gave Bryce Underwood $10 million to go to Michigan. You think somebody wouldn't come along if they see promise in Juju at the spring ball, which is why some teams don't want to play spring ball, even though, like Coach Prime say, you can't stop the inevitable. If that's what people want to do, they're gonna leave. You think somebody wouldn't come along and make Juju or Kaidon, whoever sits, an offer for $5-7 million, 3, 4, 5, something they don't have already. That's the matter. It's got to be more than they have. If they got $5 million, they're not moving for 5. But if they don't have $5 million, they probably could move for 5 if they get a promise to start. So Jerry, I like your idea of the one QB system with situational QB plays because we have 2 stars. Some schools only have 1. And then if Ryan Staub is good, somebody gonna try to poach him too. And then I don't know who we gonna have on the depth chart. I guess we gotta look and see who else is out there. But we gotta be careful in what I call strategic when it comes to, yes, Kaidon Salter can be QB1, but we cannot let Juju sit. I think the QB situational play will be a factor because we have to keep him engaged so someone doesn't poach him. We know people like to poach from CU, right? Not just coaches. There are people who wanted Juju to be there. And if they gave Bryce Underwood $10 million, I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But I really like that idea. Gracie said, hey, everyone, I'm late. That's okay, Gracie. I just read your email. I appreciate you sending that over. I think you were talking about Juju. Am I right? I didn't have a chance to click on it. I just kind of read the subject line and a little of the preview. So let me know. It says, let Juju learn. Give Saul to the keys. Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. But I do think we have to be strategic and can't just let him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I see that. I can see another school coming up with about $7 million and saying, hey, since Kaidon is your QB1, Juju, you want to come start for us? We gotta loyalty only runs so deep. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be strategic. We gotta be strategic. The NIL gotta be right for sure, especially if he gonna sit. And I do think he could sit back and learn. I think that is the best. But the way you go about it, you have to understand that your CU, that people poach from you, and it's not going to be just your coaches. You have 2 star QBs. You have to protect them both. And whichever one is not QB1, you have to make sure they stay engaged and ready for next year and not feeling like they're idle and I could go start over here. You have to be strategic. And we know Coach Prime is, so we're not worried about that. So, all right, y'all, we're going to get out of here. This was awesome. Y'all did well. Thank y'all so much. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the presentation. Jordan Seaton is the next name that came up. I like that idea. I like Big C. People say this is his team now. When you read any of the comments on any videos that Jordan Seaton is involved in, they say it's his team. I totally agree. I think that's where actually Shador passed the keys along to somebody that's going to start this year. And I think that's Big C. What's in the bag, C? So I'll go look into Jordan Seaton and come back probably this time next week. Today's Wednesday. I think Wednesday's a good day for our player profiles. So let's just count on that for next Wednesday. That way I have time to do my research. You're right. That's going to give Juju the confidence to just learn and improve without the pressure. Right. We got to be strategic and we got to make sure that NIL is right. Yes, I haven't gotten to read it yet. And I am concerned that Julian will leave if he doesn't get time. I think Coach Prime can can keep him there. I think with this, oh, don't forget, we got a couple of dates coming up. This Friday, by the end of this week, we're supposed to know if the waiver has been approved to play Syracuse. That's one thing. If I find out about it, depending on where I am, I might go live, turn your notifications on. Secondly, April 7th, that's before the spring game. That is when the NCAA lawsuit that took place with NIL is finally official, where the judge out of California makes the decision on if it's 100% official for schools to revenue share across all sports teams $22 million, because that's the amount that's been set forth this year. So if that's a yes, then that means that a lot of schools will begin trying to secure their stars with revenue sharing of 22 million, which we do believe will likely, the bulk of it will go to the football program, because they make the money, right? I don't think anybody at this point should be crying about that. I think if you a golf team and you get $5 million, that's cool. Because at Alabama, the football team, I was told, paid for that ultra expensive golf clubhouse at the University of Alabama. And my question was, and people like, I forgot how much it was. Feel free to Google it. People like, how much did you pay for it? This? Oh, the football team paid for it. But would the golf team have bought the football team a stadium? Could they? So this revenue sharing is going to be huge. I think it will allow Coach Prime to be strategic when Juju's concerned. I think Juju's parents actually understand that the people that Coach Prime are putting around, like Byron Leftwich, that's who you want to learn from. You don't want to just take Juju from CU and just send him to some school and they put him out there and it go horrible. We know how O-lines tend to function sometimes, right? It seems like they have free will and they like to exercise it depending on what's going on. Sometimes they just not good. Sometimes the coach don't know how to make adjustments. So we got to be careful, even though somebody going to throw money at you, what type of situation would they really be putting Juju in? Harmful or helpful? That's the question. So April 7th is the day that this will be official, with the revenue sharing. CU already set up its system to accommodate the change. I guess they expect it to take place. So keep that in mind. And then April 19th is when we have the spring game. So we'll be back as soon as we find out about Syracuse. Is it a go? I just love Salter's attitude. He's taking Juju on his wing. Yeah. And it was so funny. On one of my videos, I didn't use the sound, but they were throwing the ball back and forth. And it was so funny. It was so funny that Juju said it was cold. He was like, it's 70 degrees in Atlanta. I was like, it's not 70 degrees, boo. But it's colder up there. And he was like using the bands to stretch. But he and Salter were throwing the ball back and forth. And I heard Juju say, yeah, I need a hoodie or something like that. And Kaidon was like, you gonna look crazy out here with a hoodie on. So that's that big brother, little brother dynamic. They already have it. They already have it. And I believe it's respected by Juju. And honestly, I think it takes the pressure off of a very young kid who should still be in high school to try to put this team, which is under the bright lights, on his back. You don't even have to do that. Kaidon is actually equipped for it. Learn from him. And when it's your time, no jitters, you good to go. So that's what I think. That's what I think. So, all right, I don't know what's going on outside. All right, I'm going to get ready to get myself out of here. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, next Wednesday. Mark your calendars, set your notifications. Another player profile, Jordan Seaton name popped up. And don't forget, turn your notifications on just in case we get breaking news about the spring game. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't be stingy with the like button. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to let some music take us out of here. Thank you. Have a good night.
Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes, together we rose, reaching higher and higher. roots of the griddle, we cover it all. Champions rise and together we never fall. Join the fam, we celebrate every win. What you said, let's meet where the passion begins. Hit that light, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes, together we rose, reaching higher and higher. Welcome aboard, let's make it loud. What she said, rip her out of the crowd.